Hello and welcome to Insights with Thomas Caldwell on July 22nd, 2021. Tom, the discussion these days is all over the place. People are talking about inflation, the Delta variant, and of course, the border. So can you give us a bit of clarity as to what your insights are?
Well, I think first off, remember we're seeing the ripple effect of COVID. We're all readjusting lots of things. The inflation numbers are insane. If you go from the trough in March to today, for example, gasoline prices went, I think, from 80 cents to $1.40 or something like that. So tremendous increases as we bounced off the lows. People are still quite anxious. Oh my gosh, is this variant going to knock us off? Are we going back into another shutdown? I think the real message here is to just calm down and chill out as best one can, because it looks like this variant may well be contained by those vaccines that have already taken place. If you've been double vaccinated, you're probably in pretty good shape. The people that are going to get hit by it are the ones that haven't had the vaccination, so that's a concern. But for the bulk of people who had even one shot, you're fairly well defended. Inflation is going to be a number that wobbles all over the place. The prevailing wisdom, and I put wisdom in quotes, is that inflation will taper off once we settle down. We've had fuel prices go up through the ceiling. Now OPEC has cut a deal where they're going to bring more supplies on stream. But oil prices, energy prices are still going to stay high because we're cutting back support for that industry because everybody wants to go wind, solar, or renewables. But I think if you calm down and look through all of this, the decline we had just recently really was a shock. Oh my gosh, the variant might be very difficult. I think we're going to come through this. Economy is going to improve. It'll take a little bit of time. But don't get faked out or even faked in by the volatility in events and in markets and, quote, expert opinions. Stay loose and just look at things, use your brain, and I think we're going to come through this thing all right.
I love that. Calm down and chill out. So let's talk about the markets right now, because I've often heard you say the markets are rigged, but that's such a strange thing for an industry veteran to say.
Well, it's kind of extreme, but sometimes I speak in extremes and then people will pay attention to you. That's what most people do. Oh, the world is ending. If you just buy our newsletter, you're going to be great. But I think what happens is, what I mean by rigged is we have created structures, companies, organizations that benefit from volatility, so that if you have a little bit of bad news, they will hit the market, short things, drive it down. The ETFs, the exchange-traded funds, they must sell if something like this happens or they're getting redemptions. It's not like a trader. If I see the market go down, I can say, oh, do I sell, do I buy, or do I do nothing? But an ETF can't. It's locked into an action that it has to take place. So what happens between the trading groups, ETFs, exchange-traded funds, and basically a lot of day traders are in there now. When you have a little bit of bad news, the volatility is significant. It'll knock it down. Typically, for the longer-term investment, those days of high volatility represent significant opportunities. That's all you have to think about. And the up days, when the thing's going through the ceiling, just enjoy the ride for the time being. I'm still relatively positive on the price of stuff, whether it be equities, whether it be even homes, for example. Governments are always saying, oh, there's a bubble, we have to do something. Market prices correct for themselves. Just leave markets alone and they tend to come out with the right answer. So the extreme volatility can be used by a longer-term investor, so use it.
That's great. Thank you so much, Tom.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. Bye for now.